Good, so we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, one quick, I guess, word of introduction to the workshop today. This is technically the first of two parts. Next week, we're going to talk about taking better lecture notes. It's really hard when a teacher is talking full speed, and that's pretty much how they all talk, to know what to write and how to write it, and it just gets very confusing. One of the reasons that this is part one is because if you're not mentally in the room listening carefully, you can't take good notes. And so many people struggle with their concentration, with their listening skills. So the idea is we want to try to get that stronger today, and then if you're able to be back next week, I'll teach you how to actually physically write notes in a way that might be different than what you do now and might be better, might be more helpful. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. Okay, here's what I want to say to begin with. Whenever students see the title of this workshop, Improving Your Listening Skills, I get some really interesting responses from people. People look at me and they say, "You're going to teach us how to listen?" And I said, "Well, actually, yes." And people say, "Well, I already know how to do that. I've been doing that all my life." And hearing and listening are not the same thing at all. And most people, as I said, are really not good at it. And we're going to talk about that to start with. But here's my little quick introduction to this whole thing. And that is, I talk to students really often. And I don't know if this is going to sound familiar to you, but I talk to students and I go up to one and I say, "Do you ever have a hard time concentrating when somebody's talking to you?" And here's their answer. "Wait, what?" And they, "Okay, good. You come with me to the workshop." People's ability to concentrate is kind of scary. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with problems. Don't want to think about those too much, but there are a lot of reasons why people have a hard time concentrating. We're going to talk about 3 of them really fast, and then we're going to focus on solutions. It's always nice when there are twice as many solutions as problems. Too bad life isn't quite like that, but anyway, that's sort of encouraging. So out of all the reasons you might think of why a person has trouble concentrating, some of those are going to be addressed over here, but I want to show you 3 of them. And what I'd like to have you do while I'm explaining these is to figure out something for yourself. I'm not going to actually ask you. I just want you to think about it. Which one of these 3 are you guilty of the most often? In other words, it's your personal weakness. And one thing I know for sure, this might surprise you, I know, even though I don't know anybody in here really, I know that all of you suffer from all 3 of these. And how can I know that? It's because you're a human being. You'll understand as I go through them, okay? So the first one, which is a major problem for a lot of people, is what's usually referred to as pseudo-listening. Okay, and what does pseudo mean? Yeah, it means false or fake. Okay, so the question is, do you ever fake listen? Okay, and if you say no, then you're either the greatest listener of all time or you don't understand what that means yet. But let me give you an example of it, and then you'll realize, oh yeah, I do that, whether it's some or a lot. When I teach a class, at any given moment, everybody in the room is in one of 3 categories related